Hey guys, how are you? Today I bring 10 new superhero games that will surprise or disappoint you, starting with Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, a highly anticipated third-person action-adventure game developed by Skydance New Media and published by PlayOn. It promises an intense narrative experience, set during World War II. The game takes place in Nazi-occupied Paris during World War II and is inspired by the 2010 comic book miniseries Captain America Black Panther Flags of Our Fathers. The central plot involves an unlikely alliance between Captain America, Steve Rogers, and the Black Panther of the 1940s era, Azuri, T'Challa's grandfather, who must overcome their differences to fight a common enemy. Together, they must stop a sinister Hydra plan that threatens to transform the chaos of World War II into a definitive rise of the organization. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra seeks to offer a new perspective on these iconic Marvel heroes, exploring a different era and a unique team dynamic.
Be careful, Stanwasami.
When am I not?
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem.
Our cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of things, he's not very far ahead.
The American boy is right on your heels.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way!
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone!
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
Marvel's Wolverine is one of the most anticipated games by the community of comic book and video game fans, being developed by the renowned Insomniac Games, the same producer behind the acclaimed games Marvel's Spider-Man. The game follows James Logan Howlett, Wolverine, a centuries-old mutant with retractable claws, heightened animal instincts, and a pronounced healing factor. The story delves into the origin of his adamantium skeleton, which was grafted onto him after intense experimentation. Leaks indicate that the central plot involves Mr. Sinister and his conspiracy to capture mutants, especially the Omegas, the most powerful. The game is described as extremely violent, with each blow leaving a trail of blood on enemies. It will have a system of brutal finishers and the ability to decapitate enemies, tear off arms and heads. Wolverine's healing factor will be implemented in an interesting way, with a ghost health that can be regenerated by attacking enemies, similar to Bloodborne. The game Iron Man, developed by Motive Studio in partnership with Marvel Games, is a third-person action-adventure game for a single player currently in development. The narrative will be original, exploring the rich history of Iron Man and focusing on the complexity, charisma, and creative genius of Tony Stark. The goal is to provide players with the experience of truly feeling like Iron Man. The game will have an original story, not directly based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but which will delve into the rich history of the Iron Man comics, exploring the complexity, charisma, and creative genius of Tony Stark. There are strong indications that the game will incorporate RPG elements, including player progression and equipment enhancement. This may allow players to customize Iron Man's arsenal and abilities to suit their playstyles. There is speculation about a skill tree system and a deep customization of the armor, similar to games like Armored Core, where it is possible to mix and match pieces of different suits, colors, and add decals. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a new beat-em-up action game with a retro aesthetic, developed by Tribute Games and published by Dotemu in collaboration with Marvel Games. Announced during the Nintendo Direct of March 2025, the game promises to bring a nostalgic experience inspired by the classic arcades of the 90s, such as Streets of Rage, Final Fight, and Captain Commando, combining vibrant pixel art visuals, dynamic gameplay, and a stellar cast of Marvel heroes. The plot is centered on intense combat against alien enemies and classic Marvel villains, with a focus on cooperative action and a narrative that celebrates the golden ages of comics. The game is a classic 2D side-scroller with frenetic combat mechanics, where players face hordes of enemies in linear scenarios using melee attacks, special abilities, and combos. An innovative mechanic allows players to choose 2 heroes per level and switch between them during combat. This exchange, called Cosmic Swap, makes it possible to create unique combos and special attacks based on the complementary abilities of the characters, encouraging tactical strategies and experimentation with different duos. Dispatch is a strategy and adventure game with a focus on narrative, comedy, and meaningful player choices. Developed by Ad Hoc Studio, the game takes place in modern Los Angeles and puts the player in the role of Robert Robertson, also known as Mecha Man, a superhero who, after the destruction of his armor, finds himself working as a dispatcher in a superhero center. As a dispatcher, the player is responsible for managing a team of dysfunctional heroes and ex-villains. Using a strategic map, you need to send the right team to each emergency, considering the abilities and peculiarities of each member. The player's decisions impact the narrative, the relationships between the characters, and the development of the story. In addition to managing the team, the player also needs to deal with office politics and his own goal of becoming a hero again.
My suit was destroyed.
You have a lot left to give. I would like to make you an offer.
This is SDN. How can we help you?
You want me to sit in an office and dispatch heroes?
In exchange, we can make you Mecha Man again. Washed up dad bod superhero with no superpowers. Can't wait.
Whenever there's a crisis in the area, we get a call, and guess who answers?
Me.
Too easy.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
What are you doing, Invisible? Is that your car?
I don't have a car.
That's gonna be a weird insurance claim.
The way things are going, I'd cut the whole damn team.
All of you in this room have set this program ablaze with your bullshit.
You're right at home behind that desk because you're no hero. You're a nerd playing a video game in a suit your daddy built.
You gonna eat those Twinks?
That's not what they're... You know what? Help yourself.
Marvel Contest of Champions is a free-to-play fighting game developed and published by Kabam Games, slated for release on Steam in 2025, following a decade of success on mobile platforms, iPhone and Android, since its debut on December 10, 2014. Originally inspired by the limited comic book series Contest of Champions, the game now arrives on PC with significant optimizations while maintaining its essence of dynamic combat with iconic characters from the Marvel Universe. It's a one-on-one fighting game that brings together a vast array of heroes and villains from the Marvel Universe. The game is known for its combat system focused on combos and special abilities, as well as an enormous collection of characters. There will be full support for progression and cross-play, meaning you can start your journey on mobile and continue on PC without losing your progress. This allows players to switch between platforms.
Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own.
Spent the Last Ronin is an upcoming action RPG game based on the popular graphic novel of the same name. The story deviates significantly from previous Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, adopting a dark and mature tone focused on revenge and mourning. The game takes place in a dystopian future where the Foot Clan has dominated New York and only one of the Ninja Turtles has survived. This last Ronin, whose identity is kept secret for a while, embarks on a journey of revenge against the Shredder's grandson. The narrative will explore themes such as mourning, trauma, revenge, and redemption. differentiating itself from the light and humorous tone of previous games. Although the main focus is on this single survivor, it is possible that the other brothers will appear in flashbacks. The game is inspired by titles such as the God of War series, promising a AAA action experience with high-quality graphics and deeper, more challenging gameplay. The visual style will be darker and more realistic, in contrast to previous Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. Skybound, in partnership with Ubisoft, announced the development of a AAA Invincible. This will be a larger and more ambitious project for the franchise so far. The game is designed to contribute new stories to the Invincible multiverse, which means that it should expand the canon of the series, adding new narratives and adventures. Robert Kirkman, the creator of Invincible, is actively involved in the development, which is a good sign for the fidelity to the original material and to ensure that the new stories fit well into the established universe. He expressed being more excited than ever with anything involving Invincible when seeing the progress of the game. Skybound has promised top-notch competitive gameplay, premium production values, and the most advanced online and technical foundations. The idea is that the game can help fill the gaps between the seasons of the animated series, offering fans new experiences and content. Marvel's Blade is a third-person action-adventure game, currently in development by Arcane Lion, in collaboration with Marvel Games and published by Bethesda Softworks. Announced during the Game Awards 2023, the game puts the player in the role of Eric Brooks, Blade, a half-human, half-vampire known as the Daywalker. The game takes place in Paris and promises a mature and single-player experience. The game will follow Eric Brooks as he fights vampires and other nocturnal creatures in a haunted Paris. The narrative will be original, but inspired by the rich mythology of the character's comics and his appearances in other media. The third-person perspective represents a change from Arcane Lion's previous titles, which were generally in first person. Specific details about the gameplay are still scarce, but an action experience focused on combat and exploration is expected. Arcane Lion plans to take its characteristic art style to an even more modern and bold territory, combining Gothic architecture with modern urban landscapes. The conceptual images show a besieged Paris, with mysterious lighting and somber environments. Marvel's Spider-Man 3 is in development for the PlayStation 5, with the possibility of being a cross-gen title, PS5 and PS6, or even a PlayStation 6 exclusive, depending on the release window. Insomniac Games, known for its fidelity to the Marvel Universe and innovations in open-world gameplay, is focused on delivering an even more ambitious experience. The game is in initial production, which suggests that it is still in the planning, system design, and preliminary testing phases. This is corroborated by the job opening mentioned, which seeks a professional to lead research in a AAA title. The game should explore the dynamic between Miles as the main Spider-Man and Peter returning to action for personal reasons, possibly linked to the Osborns. The plot may be inspired by Avengers Endgame, bringing together a larger cast of characters, as suggested by creative director Brian Intihar, who compared the series to the Iron Man and Captain America Civil War arc. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.